All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pilates on a Wednesday evening. We are doing a realignment set this evening. So this is one of those great sets that brings Pilates back to the basics, but then allows lots of modifications. So you can modify to make things a lot more difficult. You can modify things to make things easier. So it's really good if you have any contraindications. Just be mindful of anything you've got going on, contraindications wise. So if you've got any injuries, any things that stop you doing certain moves, you know your bodies better than anybody else. So it's really important that you tune into them and really, really listen. So like I said, we're going to do a realignment set this evening. Make sure you stay hydrated. I've popped a couple of cushions to the side. I've got a chair just to show modifications. You can use a sofa if you want to. So here we go. We are going to start on our feet today, guys. And if anybody needs to ask me anything that is joining me live, then just pop something through on the chat box, or you can unmute your mic if you want to. Okay, here we go. So I just want you to start placing your feet hip width apart. So just tune into your hips. So pop your hands on your hip bones and then just soften your knees and look down towards your feet. Draw yourself into your belly button and there should be a line, and I want you to rock forward and back, side to side. And we're going to do this until you feel that your center of gravity is evenly pressed over both feet. So we're not checking into our breath yet, we're just allowing our center to be central. So I'll just turn to the side, just tuning in. Maybe just grip the floor with your toes. You can pull them up and back if you want to. And then just allow the knees to be soft. And then from here, just allow that tailbone to tuck under and that belly button to pull in. So if you've joined me on bar before, you'll know what that means. If not, just tilt the tailbone and pull that belly button in. We're going to draw the hands onto the rib cage. You're going to take a breath in and gently press the rib cage in as you take that breath in. And then exhale and feel the rib cage expand. So just inhale, gently press. Exhale, push the hands out. And inhale. You should see those fingers get closer together. And then as you exhale, and think about that exhale, press it out as if you're trying to, clean your glasses. And then tune into how you're feeling this evening, or perhaps you're doing it on catch-up. Just tune into how you're feeling. Another thing this set is great for is just to sort of bring everything back. If you're feeling a bit out of sorts and stuff, it gives you time just to check in, tune into your body, bit of self-care, bit of self-love. And remember, it's not selfless. Just allow the arms now to come down by the waist, and I want you to leave the hands hang heavy and really drop the shoulders down. Imagine you're holding like a kettlebell in each hand, and you can feel the weight drawing your shoulders down. But allow yourself to focus here so that middle frame is nice and strong. I will turn from side and forward just to check in with your line. And then just maybe tilt the head from side to side. And I want you now to focus your energy just around your thigh muscles, but on the inner thigh muscles. And I want you to just soften your knees. And you're going to imagine there's a small Pilates ball, not the big physio balls, the small Pilates ball in between your knees, and you're just allowing your inner thighs to really contract and stay strong. Pull the back up, squeeze there. We're going to take the arms back, take an inhale here, and then bring the arms forwards and go a little bit deeper on that sit. And inhale, squeeze. Now I want you to imagine that that ball is being held there. Squeeze the inner thighs, pull the belly button in as you stand, and keep that back nice and strong. Good. Let's do 5 more at a good pace. Work at a pace that's connected to your breath. Good, keep that going. So the line from the fingertips to the tailbone should run through the shoulders, down the back, and connect to that tailbone. And just the last one. Then you're going to hold there. Hold in that seated position. And I want you to just pulse. Squeeze. 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull the belly button in. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Perfect. Arm up. And draw the line down to one side. Good, the arm goes up. Good. And up, so you press it up. Keep the other hand connected to the thigh and then run it down the leg. And this helps you to stay online. And by online, I just mean stay directly on the side. So for example, I'm going to keep going. If I don't have my hand on my leg, there could be a tendency that I might lean forward or lean back. So by connecting my hand down my leg, my back stays in line with the rest of my body. So inhale up, exhale over. And let's just do about 2 to 3 more on each side. And again, work at a pace that works for you in connection with the breath. Exhale as you go over. Good. And inhale. Exhale. And again, just tune in. Check that your body, your feet are still in that neutral position where you started. Inhale, lift. Good. Perfect. So bring the hands up to that top hat position. You're going to lift the arms up and you're going to extend towards the ceiling. Try and grow as tall as you can. So feel like you're rooting from the ground and just allowing those arms to reach towards the ceiling. Tune into your body. Think about that central line. And if you can, lift up onto your toes. Keeping the inner thighs squeezed, nice and strong at the ankle. Hold in there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down and arms around hands, so palms facing the camera. Good. Soften the knees and gently just twist from side to side, loosening out, letting any tension go. Still feeling a little bit of tension right up here. Good. Bring it back to center. And again, just make sure the feet are evenly pressed into the ground. Your center of gravity feels like it's being forced through the feet. You're going to bring your hands up to that top hat position. Take an inhale as you rise. Now pull that line up, squeeze the legs, squeeze the ankles, lifting and locking, holding that there. And remember just to tune into your own level. If you're feeling a bit wibbly wobbly, then you don't have to go up onto your toes, just focus on your line. And bring everything down, arms and palms face the camera. Good, perfect. So we're just going to allow our arms to go out this time, nice and wide. Inhale here. Now you're going to bring one elbow over the other and reach towards your shoulder blades, get them as far back as you can. And you're going to tuck your tailbone in, round your upper back, and just go down, like not too far. It's kind of like a curve, you find kind of like an R shape. And then just allow yourself to pay attention into that tailbone. So you may want to just soften one knee, soften the other, making figure of eights. Good, then coming up. Inhale, open. Exhale, give yourself a big hug. Think of the first person you're going to hug when we're allowed to. That's not your, like, someone who lives in your home. Good, that's it. Just let any tension, allow it to release into that thoracic, the middle region of the back. Good, good, good. Well done. Bringing it up. All right, so just allow the arms to connect behind the tailbone if you can. And then I want you to try and open the chest, bring the shoulder blades together. I'm going to stand at the side. So I'm not arching or forcing anything. I'm just allowing myself to really open at the chest. Stand tall, stand proud. Feel a sense of achievement that you can conquer anything. Bring those good, positive thoughts. Goals for 2021. I know they might be a bit hampered at the moment, or there might be little walls up in front of them, but fill yourself with self-belief and you can conquer anything. Perfect. We're going to do a couple of roll downs now, so just allow the arms to just get nice and loose. Feet again, just double check, hip width apart, chin to the chest. Roll the shoulders over and start to round from the top of the head. You're going to start to curve it over, reaching down towards the feet, opening out that lower back. Now if you can feel like a stretch running up the back of the legs, just soften your knees so that you are more like opening out each part of your spine. And then let your head hang heavy as well. And as that head hangs nice and heavy, allow any sort of tension or any sort of bad feeling, any stresses, just fall to the floor. Good. Perfect. Make sure you're tuning into your breath. Now just allow your knees to soften, tuck your tailbone in, and start to curl and stack your vertebrae one at a time. And then your head returns to neutral. And that's a perfect timing for a roll down. Gives you time to check in. So we're going to do the same again. So take an inhale here. Chin to the chest. Roll the shoulders over. Reaching down. Take your time. Work at a speed that works for you. And again, this is all about how comfortable you feel within your own skin. Make sure you sort of roll that tailbone under, soften the knees if you need to, make the adjustments, release the head, release the tension out of the neck, out of the shoulders, and maybe just start to circle the tailbone from side to side. And I tend to bend one knee and then bend the other, so it's like I'm swaying. I always imagine I've got a tail, a nice big lion's tail, and I'm swaying it from side to side. King of the jungle, that's what I like. Perfect. And then bring and tuck that tailbone under and bring everything back up. And again, just work at a pace that you're comfortable with, stacking your vertebrae at a time until that head returns to neutral. And before we take it down now to the floor, I just want you to check into your feet. So I want you to roll your body weight backwards, shifting your center of gravity backwards, and you're going to lift your toes up off the floor and spread them. And then you're going to shift that body weight forward. Try and keep your line, here. So we don't pike like this. We keep the line and we just shift the body weight, push down into the floor and squeeze the legs. Good, and down. So just take the weight back, spread the toes, picking them up if you can. Good, and then shift that body weight forwards. Squeeze the inner thighs. Good. All right, so just soften the knees. I'm going to give you a couple of modifications on your next sequence. So if you turn to face the camera, watch me for the different sequences. Like I said, I'm starting on a base level this evening. So I'm going to give you a base level sequence, then I'm going to modify it to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to show you a modification to make it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult. So we've already done the roll down, and that's going to be the beginning of your phase. So like I said, I'll show you the base level first. I'll probably speed it up a little bit, but when we come to doing it together, I want you to really think about control. So I'm going to tuck that chin into the chest, roll my shoulders over. That initiates my roll down, the roll downs that we've just worked on. We're going to connect the hands to the floor first, leave the head hang heavy. We're going to walk it out. Transferring the weight from hand to hand, and by doing this you gradually starting to bring this core into line and engage the core. Now this is your baseline, this presser position, and we're just going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to walk it back. Okay, so your modification at this point would be to bring it to your knees, or just to release a little bit of tension and bring your knees towards the floor. The most important thing is that you've got a good back line. Okay, so a little bit of a modification then to make it a little bit more challenging. I want you to try and walk your hands out a little bit further. See how far you can walk them away. And still, oh my God, I can feel this. Ooh. Do you know, as if you had one of those rollers and you've got a good back line, and you're going to take those hands out as far as they will go and keep a really good back line. So choose which level you want to work at, and then I'm going to give you, we're going to work it for probably 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, because I want it to be nice and slow, and in that time you should fit around about 4 in, because it's normally about 30 seconds per, and I say about, okay? So I'll start you off, and then I'm going to come and have a look at you guys that are alive. So inhale, chin to the chest, shoulders over, rolling it down, reaching down towards the floor. You're going to walk it out. Transfer the hand transfer the weight from hand to hand. And I'm going to come at your base level first. So my shoulders are over my hands, and perhaps I want to just put some more energy into the toes. Squeeze there, but I'm really strong. I feel strong through the hips. I feel strong through the back. And then I'm going to transfer the weight from hand to hand as I press everything back. And like I said, if you need to modify, just bring the knees down to the floor. All right, so now I'm going to do one of the more challenging ones. So if you're already working, keep it going, guys, at your own pace. I'm sure you're all doing really well. So after I've done this next one, I'm just going to come into the camera and have a look at how we're all getting on. I'm trying to go as far as I can. Oh my gosh. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I felt the work there. I think my core just went, whoa, what is going on? Okay, so those that are joining me live this evening, I'm coming in to have a look at you like a shark. So if you want me to check you, just make sure your camera is at an angle and I can see you. Nice H. She's going for it. Good, that's it. Really pull that belly button in, squeeze and pull up through the rib cage. So you surround, yeah, that's it. Nice, well done. Good, guys, really good line. Okay, so we've got about 30 seconds left, so I'm sure you guys can fit one more in. Good, Carol, lovely, lovely flow. Just soften the knees as you roll up. Yeah, that's it, and the head is the last to come up. Perfect timing, guys, perfect. That's it, really think about rounding the lower part of the back as well. So the lumbar part, for those that are doing that challenge, try not to dip in the lumbar. So the lower part of the back needs to round. That's it, squeeze the glutes. Nice, all right, I'm proud. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. All right, guys, so just allow yourself to just shake your legs out. And let's go down now to our hands and knees. So before we go down, those that can go down, just take it down. Those that can't work on their knees, you're going to bring your chair in. And you're going to work at this position here. So I'm going to bring my elbows down. And everything that I do on the floor can be done in this position. So for anyone that has contraindications, can't work on the knees, then bring your chair in or work on against the sofa, that's fine. All right, so we're going to start with those cat-cows, and this defines the shape of the spine. So you're going to lift your head and really stick your bottom out, drop your belly button down towards the floor. Now just check that your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Now from here, you're going to tuck that tailbone under, pull the belly button in, chin to the chest, and round that back as much as you can. So I know in yoga these is known as cat-cows. But in Pilates, I like to refer to the cat as the angry cat, you know, because happy cats are quite generally like, nah, nah. But this is my angry cat here, you know, when they really are hissy. I always think cats are a bit half and half anyway. All right, and release, head comes up. And really allow yourself to tune in. Your back is the support. It's that, you know, that big tree stump. It supports the whole of that beautiful frame, and it's really important to look after it. Good, and head comes up, open the chest, inhale here, and exhale. All right, so we're going to just allow ourselves to come into a neutral position with our spine now. So we're going to pull the belly button in, squeeze your tummy muscles, and make sure the back is nice and flat through this set. Now, if you're finding there's a little bit too much tension in the wrists, you are quite welcome to bring it down onto your elbows if you prefer. But we'll start with taking the right leg back. I'm going to lift and tap, lift and tap. Now, just allow your hips to be central or neutral to the floor. So what you don't want is this turn to happen or your hips to open. Focus, squeeze and lift. Now if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could flex the foot because it adds a little bit more weight into the glute area. And if you want even more of a challenge, you could extend your left arm and lift your arm and your leg. Now your arm comes forward. Good, and we're going to work this for about 30 seconds at a pace that you're comfortable with. So inhale as you lengthen, exhale as you close it down. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, exhale as you close it down. Good, let's do 4 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Think of a good line from your fingertips all the way down to your big toe. And now is a good time as well to talk about, you know, like tension throughout the bodies. So just allow your elbows to come down at this point, because we're just going to do a little bit of a checkpoint here, and then we're going to go on to the other side. But with checkpoints, it's just a little bit of grasp to get that breath back in control. Just take a little bit of a breather. But when you're doing all these things, just focus on the hips being parallel to the floor. We don't want that twist to kick in. Really, really good form. But I was going to speak a little bit about tension through the body as well. So it's quite common to get cramp in Pilates and in yoga, because everything is a lot slower and you're focusing on squeezing and really controlling movement and figuring out what muscles work during movement, and that's good. But it does then, especially if I get a lot of runners that suffer with cramp when they do Pilates, because they're normally just like running everywhere like Forrest Gump, and then all of a sudden when they slow down, it's like, whoa. Yeah, so if you are suffering, just turn the toes under, perhaps rock back, or maybe go onto your back, lift the legs up, put your feet against the wall even, but just don't try to press on, just allow it to settle first and then pick it back up when you know you can. All right, so let's extend the left leg back. We're going to lift and tap, and this is the point now where we check our body line. So are our hips parallel to the floor? Am I dropping my back? Am I rounding my back? Am I lift jelly in the middle? Do I need to go onto my elbows? But give yourself that time just to focus and align and just check in to what you're doing is correct. Good technique, good flow. Good. All right, so from here, if you want to, you can extend the right arm and lift, or even if you don't want to lift the arm, you can just flex the foot if you want to do a little bit more of a challenge. So just keep it going. Just remember to inhale, exhale. So think about inhale as you open and lengthen through the body, and then every time you exhale, it's when you close. And if it's sometimes a little bit too much to think of and you're thinking, I just need to get the movement going, then breathe normally, but breathe at a pace that is comfortable for you. All right, so don't worry too much if you can't do both at the moment. Just allow yourself to really focus on tuning into where you are on your Pilates journey. All right, last one. All right, let's bring it down to this checkpoint again. So let's bring the heels or the feet together. Open these knees a little bit if you can. And then just bring your hands to your head and do a little checkpoint here. And again, you can see my tailbone is going from side to side, loosening out any tension. Okay, good. Perfect. So, like I said, tonight is an alignment set. So we're not going to worry too much about hip rotators and anything like that. Just want you to feel like you can align your body and really think about your posture and day-to-day activities. And sometimes this set is lovely just to come in at every couple of weeks or every sort of 4 or 5 weeks, just to give you a little bit of a check-in. All right, let's sit up as tall as we can. Your hips, your knees, your feet parallel, hip width apart. You're going to exhale into a C-sit position. Round the back. Go as low as you can. When you got to your lowest point, start to bring the chin in. And inhale here. Exhale down. Good. And oh, I felt my hip pop then. Didn't even know if you can hear it in the mic. But that shows that that hip joint is engaged because something's going on there. It's squeezing. I'm trying to keep tension. Now, if you're feeling super strong and you want to take the hands off, then allow yourself to bring the hands off. Good. So I'm just going to check the room at this point. So I want you guys to do, let's do 6 more. And like I said, modifications, so if you don't want to do 6, you can half it at your own pace. That's it. So every time you sit up, you want to take that inhale. Good. That's it. And then exhale as you round. get to the maximum point, and then feel yourself really driving the chin forward, sitting up, using that core to sit up strong and lift, root through the spine. Good, let's do 2 more. Perfect. And I'll do the last one with you, and we're going to take this last one all the way down to the floor. So sitting up, and I want you to roll each part of your vertebrae on the floor, vertebrae at a time. So really control it, chin into the chest, take your time, all the way down. Ooh, that felt engaged. All right, so we're just allowing ourselves to connect here. Maybe drive the heels into the floor, just pull the toes up if you can. Your arms are in like a low V position on the floor. And then bring the feet back into contact. Now, you're going to lift one heel off the floor, just one heel. And just focus into that hip joint again. If you feel like your hip is twisting and you're not evenly pressing through your feet. Good, bring the heel down. Now go on to the other side. You should still be able to neutralize to centralize. So the shoulders are evenly pressed into the floor, just because you're moving your heel off, and then switch onto the other heel. Good, lower down. There should be just minimal movement going on in that hip joint. Perfect. Okay, so from here, I want you to lift your arm towards the ceiling. Let's go left arm towards the ceiling. Good, so left arm is up, and you're going to bring your right leg off. Now push your back into the floor, and I want you to take your left arm out to the side and your right leg out to the side. But you see that left knee, just make sure that is up towards the ceiling, not following that right leg, because that's sometimes the most difficult thing. So once you've got to your maximum point, you're going to bring the knee and the hand back in to that center phase. So the left arm is up, the right leg is up, those two go out, and the left knee tries to stay still, and you're squeezing that left leg. Whoa. Good, that's it. Inner thighs should be really, really strong here. Let's do 2 more. Exhale us in. And 1 more. Really focus on the inner thigh. And exhale. Now from here, you're going to take that left arm back, and the right leg extends. And in. Good. Keep the lower back pressed into the floor. Now, if you need more of a challenge, you can lift the shoulders off the floor and take that back as far as you can, holding the shoulders off the floor, because we've got 4 more. And 3. And 2. And just check into that left leg. I've just looked at my left leg and it's wibble wobbling all over the shop. So I need to focus my energy into that left leg to try and keep it as still as possible. Oh, bring both knees into your chest. You're going to rock from side to side. Good. Okay, so let's bring our right leg into contact with the floor. Right arm up, left leg up this time. So we're going to move the right arm and the left leg out to the side. Try and keep the left knee at 90 degrees as well. So you open out. Now focus your energy into that right leg. That should be nice and still. And sometimes it's really, really hard, because as you open, naturally you just want to open the other leg. And we don't want to do that, because I'm trying to really work on this centralization of the spine and isolation of knowing how to control muscle movement. Good. Good. Really push the lower back into the floor. All right, well done. All right, so we're going to take the leg back, extend the left leg forward. Really push the lower back into the floor. And we're aiming to work this at a good flow and at a pace where the arm and the leg are working in unison. And now focus the energy into the leg that's connected to the floor. How wibbly wobbly is it? Perhaps you're really still. Perhaps you need a little bit more of a challenge so you can lift the shoulders off. Good, let's go. Let's do 2 more. Just going to check into the room, the live room. Perfect, guys, well done. Doing really, really well. All right, so just bring your knees now into your chest, and let's bring your knees together, and you're going to circle your knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then the other way. 3, 2, and 1. All right, arms out, nice and wide. We're going to extend our left leg up, cross it over your right. And you're going to allow those legs to drop to the right side of the room. Make sure your shoulder blades stay centralized, so both shoulders are pressing to the floor, and you're just allowing your spine to twist, just as far as is comfortable. Some knots down in my middle of my back, so I'm just trying to work them out by doing little minor movements. It's annoying when they don't come out and they can feel it's like, oof, a bit tense. Good, and then bring everything back to the center, and you're going to switch the legs. So extend the right leg this time, cross it over the left. Take everything down to that left side this time. And again, keep the shoulders connected to the floor. Good. All right, guys, well done. So our last set this evening is going to be moving now the knees from side to side, and just look at the camera, and I'm going to give you a couple of options here. So I'm up onto the balls of my feet, and I'm going to keep the feet connected to the floor, and my feet have come together. I'm going to lower my knees to one side, but I'm not going to leave them collapse onto the floor. I'm just lowering them, and then I engage then to the side oblique. So I'm starting to squeeze here. And then as I squeeze, I bring everything over to the other side. Keep your arms nice and wide and pressed into the floor. So this is a nice level to start. And then your base level is at that tabletop position. So you're going to take this tabletop down to one side. You're not going to let it collapse onto the floor. And then you're going to take it over to the other side. And again, connect with your breath if you can. Take an inhale, exhale. And if you want more of a challenge, then you can extend the legs, add a little bit more weight. Go as far as you can. Oh my gosh. I can feel the knots creaking in my back. That's my song. Oh. All right, so off you go. Choose a level that you're comfortable with, where you feel like you can gain the most. I wish I had a microphone on my back. It is really, really cracky. Like, you know, a creak on the stairs, that's what it sounds like. but I think it's all the tension of today. When the homeschooling got too much. So today it was called Wellbeing Wednesday. It was not Wellbeing Wednesday at all. You're supposed to have a device-free day, but it's luckily I work for a gymnastics club. So I went into the gym club and I did some filming with my lot for my little tots, and it was a chance for them to sort of let off some steam and run around because they definitely needed it. They were crazy today. So I'm thinking all these creaks in my back are just the tension that has built up through the day, and I'm letting go of it so that I can wake up like a princess tomorrow. Be singing to all the animals, and I'm here. What has the day brought to me? All right, guys, so just bring the knees into the chest, and we're going to just finish off. Just rotate from the hip joint. Bring the knees in, open the knees. 3, 2, 1, and then the other way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the legs, flex and stretch the feet. Keep the back connected to the floor. Just get some energy into the ankles, into the calf muscles behind the knees. Good. All right. Now we're just going to rock and bring it up. Whoa. All right, let's finish in a seated position. Bring the hands onto the knees. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, like I always say, just sit as comfortably as possible. But I want you to really sort of push your bum bones into the floor and root up out of the hip joint. So sit up as tall as you can. Sit up proud, lengthen the neck. And you're going to just focus your energy, start to tune in. How are you feeling? Hopefully you're feeling better than when you started, even if it's here, not bodily wise, because sometimes it's like, oh, I've been made to work. But take an inhale. Now bring it some energy into the palms of your hands. So I want you to rub your hands until you can feel the heat really, really building right into the palms of the hands. And it's also good for toning the biceps and triceps, this one. Squeezing in at the chest muscles. All right, so close your eyes and then pop those nice warm palms on top of your eyelids. Take an inhale. Gently press the forehead. Run the hands over the top of the head. Down the back of the neck. Bring the hands in front. Inhale, shoulders. And thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed that set. It is one of my favorite sets to teach. And I always find that no matter where you are on your Pilates journey, everyone gets something from that set, and it just makes you think a little bit more about your lines and how you connect and how you hold yourself, which is key really in like back care, joint care, and working and really thinking about your core. So thank you those that joined me live, and those that are doing this on catch up, let me know your feedback, guys. Let me know what you thought. All right, thumbs up team.